Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine Live. I'm Catherine, and it's time for sketch number 2 for the Creative Memories virtual crop. And let's just get right to it. I'm going to be working with secret box number 4. Again, that's what I'm working with this whole virtual crop until it runs out, I guess. We'll see how long it lasts me. Let's add the second camera here. And there we go. Okay. Here it is, our sketch number 2 for the Creative Memories virtual crop. And I'll hold this closer so that way if you all want a screenshot of my measurements, they are here. I've kind of pieced together already my layouts a little bit. I think that's a look kind of what made me run a little bit late. I was checking a couple of last minute details, and then all of a sudden I looked up and it was time to go live. And I was like, ah! So catching my breath here a little bit. And this is what I'm going to do for you today. We have 6 photos that are going to fit on this layout. I've cut gray cardstock mats, light gray cardstock mats, and the base are from our secret box, the darker blue polka dot paper. It has colorful lighter polka dots on the back. We're using the same sheet for both sides as our base, and then I cut a 2" by 12 piece of the designer paper that has the yellow stripes on the back. It's the lighter blue. I'm going to go ahead and start placing these down so that way we can keep things moving along a little bit here. And here we go. I know this one is going to run out because it almost ran out in the last live stream. Yep, there we go. Well, you get to see how quick and easy it is to replace our tape runners. Just pop open the box and you pop in the entire refill. Match up the large hole on the back with the piece that holds it. And just put your holder back together and you're back in business here. There we go. And this is going to go up about 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the bottom of the layout. You can, again, like I said before, pull out your 13 by 13 mat or get out your 0 centering ruler if you want to be super precise about it. But I just tend to go for it when I'm live streaming here. It just kind of keeps things moving along a little bit. I've also cut 1 inch of vellum that was also in our secret box. And on here, it looks like there's about 1 inch and 1 inch of 2 different stripes of designer paper, cardstock, whatever you want to use to highlight your page. And I decided to go ahead and use some of the vellum that was also in the secret box. And I'm going to run it right through the middle rather than having it kind of be stripy. I just kind of like it, almost looks like a gift bow. So here we go. Oops, I've got my vellum tape runner. So that way, hopefully, well, not hopefully, we won't see it really once it goes on the paper. I found it's definitely less noticeable when you use the vellum tape runner with the vellum and you're placing it over lighter pieces. You can see it a little bit more over the darker ones, but still not as much as if you were using a regular tape runner. I do have a short on YouTube that does a demonstration of exactly that if you would like to take a look on my channel on YouTube for that. It is Creative Pages with Catherine. Go figure. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start placing some of my mats. I have 6 4¼ by 6¼ mats, and then that way we can just put on our 4 by 6 photos and not have to worry about cropping a thing for this layout. So we have 2 on this side. We have this one goes, these are going the opposite way on the sketch. And then we have this one that's kind of going to go up in this corner, and I probably will use repositionable tape just on the ends of this one and angle it so that way it's not on my photo, but I can actually use my multi-purpose tool underneath it. And these are kind of lining up also in the sketch. I guess I shouldn't say kind of, they are. And here we go. Let's go ahead and double check the placement here. Yeah. And then I also took, you might recognize this from our first sketch that I did. This is the back side, the turquoisey side. On our sketch, we have this little kind of highlight for these lower pictures. And then there's a couple of journal boxes and highlights on each end here. And so I chose the embellishments that came in the pack. I also took my strip of lined paper that you saw also in the first sketch, that 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch squares I'd cut. For the first one, I just took that same strip and just cut it at 2.5 inches again to make my life easy here. This is going to go over here and this one's going to go over here. And that way you can just add a little extra to your layout. Let me go ahead and start sticking things down here if I can figure out where I've put my tape runner again. There we go. I think I just got a little flustered by running late. Goodness. Usually I'm on time, so I apologize for being a couple minutes behind on this one. Okay, let's see if we can get this just straight here. All right. There you go. And this one's going across the bottom here. And then it's up to you whether or not you're going to put your strip on top or underneath. I think when I tested this one out, I stuck it underneath and I liked how that looked. So that's what I'm going to do again. And I'm just going to tuck it under because when I use the tape runner, I don't grab the edges as well. So I'm just running this right along the edge of this mat. And when I cut the mats, I just used, I guess what's referred to as the magic mat technique. I showed it in one of my other videos where you can cut 4 4.25 by 6.25 mats from one piece of cardstock. And it just always seems to work out great. You wind up with a little square that comes off in the middle. You take 1.5 inches off of each end of your cardstock, your 12 by 12 inch sheet, and then you just place it at 4.25. You cut down to the 6.25, you turn it, and you just keep lining it up at 4.25. You cut down to 6.25 on your trimmer, and you wind up getting your 4 mats out of your cardstock and minimal scraps, which is nice as well. Okay, so I didn't run a whole lot across the bottom part of this one either. Let me get my sheets lined up again here, and I'm going to run this one right here, I think, just under the other one. There we go. And then we're going to place this other little strip underneath the mat as well. Okay. And it's a little bit tricky to get it, oops, yep, lined up exactly right. Now I need to pull this out just a little bit, but fingernails help. You can also pull out your multi-purpose tool if you need to. There we go. Okay. So we're doing well making use of our secret box here. I'm going to go ahead and add my little journal box here and get this one on this side as well. And so it kind of almost does look like a little bit like a bow with that vellum running through there. I'll I'll definitely hold it closer to the camera for y'all once I am done putting this together. And with this end, I think we're okay to go ahead and use the repositionable tape across our embellishment here. And whoops, here we go. It's starting to stick down before I wanted it stuck. There we go. These embellishments are they're gorgeous. And I liked the idea of adding this little touch of teal because the leaves on here are essentially the same teal color. So we're bringing back in that color to our layout and drawing the eye. And I said I wasn't going to put it in the middle because we have our picture coming. Thank goodness the repositionable tape is forgiving. I'm just taking my finger, I'm rubbing it across it, and there is nothing that's going to wind up on our photo. I'm just going to get this one stuck down essentially by the leaves. There we go. And if it winds up being a little bit over, you can always just pick it up and move it down. No problem whatsoever because we use the repositionable tape or tape runner, I should say. And then this one also was in the embellishment pack from the secret box. And I went ahead and pulled it out because it was a single. And in our sketch, there's space for a single piece up here. And I can't decide if I want it facing down or facing up. I think I'll put it facing up so it draws the eye going up, kind of like adding a lucky horseshoe to our page. I'm going to grab a sticker as well. I already picked out which one I wanted to use. Oops, I almost broke that one. This is very thin. This one says relax, which clearly I need right now. But I'm going to go ahead and place this down here because that's our title for our page. And now I'm going to pull out they call them embellishments. These are, they're basically self-sticking embellishments. So they're kind of like enameled pieces. And there's basically here I have a white sheet here I can use leftover from my index sheet. So there's this little flower here that's black and white. And I thought, that really will kind of finish off this our little good luck horseshoe up there in the top. It does disappear a little bit, but I think it's okay. It'll still draw the eye a bit without being too much on the page. And let's see here. How did I do? I don't know if we want to add one more or not. I don't think adding other colors to this page is a good idea. This little, nope, I think we're good. There's nothing else that really speaks to me as fitting the colors on this page. And I think our photos will be the main star of this one, which is the whole idea of what we want. So here again is our sketch. You can see on this left side, we have our title. We have just kind of a more subtle draw, a little bit of color at pop at the bottom, and then our extra pieces up here. And then on this side, again, I added the color, the lines, the embellishment. I just didn't put anything over on this side. So hopefully you think that's pretty close to the sketch, not too shabby. Sometimes I follow the sketches a little closer than other times, and I think this time I did follow it a little bit closer. So let me go ahead and hold that left side up for you to the camera so you all can see that a little bit better. And now the right side. There we go. And I'll go ahead and put those down there one last time. And we're going to switch back over. And here I am again. So take a look out for me coming up probably tomorrow night. And I will try to finish out the rest of the other 4 sketches. Until next time.